Hi everybody, welcome back. I've got this idea of a stained glass window. It's Christmas, there's carol services, church services. So I've just got this idea of a silhouette of a stained glass window. So I'm going to do a really lovely coloured flip cup, so to create lots of little cells. When it's dry, I'm going to embellish it with the silhouette of a stained glass window. So really excited to try this. So let me show you the colours I'm using. So these are the colours. So I've got Montmartre white and Montmartre gold, orange, the Pebeo Studio Acrylics iridescent orange yellow, and then Amsterdam carmine, Amsterdam permanent blue violet, and Amsterdam ultramarine violet, which I've got mixed here. So the Amsterdam permanent blue violet I've also added some white to, so it's a little bit lighter. And then the ultramarine violet, again, I've added some white to it, so it's lighter. When it dries, it will darken. So I think to lighten it to start with, I will be happier with the end result. And then the pinky colour here, that is just the white and the carmine colour added together. So they're mixed with PVA glue and water pouring medium. I will put the recipe in the description of this video for you. I've just added some silicone into all my paints, and I use this moisturising coconut milk anti-breakage serum. So this is the oil, so this is what's going to create the cells. Also, it smells amazing, so I love the smell of painting when I am using that. I've decided on this order. I'm going to layer up 3 cups, and I think I'm going to try and go for 2 layers of each colour, I think. So just pour a little bit in each. So I want to have used, approximately half after I've done that 1 layer. So this canvas is a 40 by 50 centimetre. I'm going to flip them onto the canvas. They're quite full, so I'm very much expecting it to escape. Very full, so the colour will just now drift down to the bottom, but because they're full, they really don't have very far to go. I think I'm going to flip it over and drag it towards me. Yeah. I'll just let that drain down there, just so the canvas is as wet as possible. This main bit here is the bit that obviously I will be stretching out. Right, I've got a little bit of paint left over, so I'm just going to put a tiny bit in there, which will just act as a flow extender. So it will just help to get that paint in the centre there just to flow. It will be tilted off, but it will just help it to flow around that section. I'm going to tilt towards you first, towards the camera first. I'm just making a corner catcher, so it's just a piece of cardboard, and I'm just going to place that on the corner so that I can catch the paint. If I let too much paint tip off at the moment, I'll just have less control over the composition at the end. So if I can just go into that corner and bring it back, I've got that corner really nicely covered, but I haven't lost a lot of paint yet, so I can then take my time with my composition a bit later. I'll have more paint left on the canvas, so I can really play around a bit more with the composition if I have more paint on the canvas. Right, I'm going to do the same again down here, get the canvas covered, and then I'm going to start thinking about torching. Right, so you'll see I've got this beautiful original design here. These are the bits that aren't as nice from where I put the cups onto the canvas at the end where they drained. Let's just get that bit covered. Right, I've got loads of paint here. So let's just get rid of that bit at the bottom. Right. Now let's give this a torch. I want quite a lot of cells and I want them quite closely packed together because it's going to be a stained glass window. So it's just with that in mind, I want lots of little cells rather than a few bigger cells. Right, so there is one bit of this canvas, or this painting, that I hate, and that's this massive pink cell here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sort that out, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try tilting down over here to stretch out a little bit here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get rid of it entirely without wrecking the rest of the cells. But it just is an absolute eyesore, so has to go. I have to try and get rid of it. So there's lots of paint on here, so it should mean that I've got quite a good chance of stretching everything out. So I'm just walking the paint down towards that bottom corner of the canvas. And you can see how much paint I've got on here because that it went down really quickly. Right, so this is all distorted slightly, but this is beautiful. Absolutely love this. So you can see it is just a full-on mass of cells, which is what I wanted. So the little cells will look like the different parts of a stained glass window. So then I'll be doing a black embellishment over the top to create the edge of the window and also the metal that sits between all the panes of glass. Really, really happy with this colour scheme. The colours have just blended beautifully together. Really, really pretty. So yeah, quite sparkly there as well. Yeah, really pleased. So I'll be back when it's dry for the next part. So it's now dry. Unfortunately, I've had a disaster. So it was in my drying rack and there was a painting on the shelf above and there was so much paint on the painting, it dripped onto that shelf and then ran across the shelf and dripped down onto the shelf below where this painting was. So you can see here. So what happened was there was a few massive spots of paint from the above painting, and I've just, to try and smooth the canvas, I've just brushed them off, but unfortunately I've now got a big indentation there, so this just, I can't use it. This will not work for this type of painting. Even if that bit was black, because it is so dented, it will show, it will stick out like a sore thumb. So unfortunately, I can't use it. It's really pretty. Otherwise, it's dried really well. The cells are gorgeous. The colours are gorgeous. But with that, I can't use it, unfortunately. So watch this space with this painting. I will use this, but I will do something with the canvas. I will cut the canvas and use it, I don't know yet, but use this in another way. So I've still got my silhouette, my stained glass window silhouette design in my mind. I found this painting. I did this little painting ages ago, a long time ago. And I'm going to just use this. So I'm just going to swap from the original pour to this pour to put my stained glass on, because this is perfect. It's got lots of tiny little cells, really similar colours to the original. I would have filmed making this one, so I'll find the link for this video and I'll put this in the description. So if you want to see how I actually made this one, click in the description box and there'll be a link in there. So I'm going to use this now for the stained glass window silhouette. So it's now finished and dry. I have spent absolutely ages painting on the black. I painted it and then I had to paint again to get a really thick opaque layer. And then all the little lines in here, just ages, but I have loved it. There's something quite satisfying about such a geometric pattern. So really, really happy. The black against the colours underneath, the contrast is just gorgeous. I've ended up with a kind of flower effect. I don't think that's very traditional in a stained glass window, so I've definitely made it my own. It's just what happens. I didn't really plan flowers. It just happened, really. One thing I love is I've put a little square where it crosses, and I just think that makes it look a bit more realistic, like where the metal will be welded together to encase the glass. So obviously a stained glass window, it should be the glass here that's coloured, but the other thing I think it actually really looks like is just clear windows with the black frame, and then the behind, it almost just looks like this sunset. So if you imagine a clear glass window with this sunset outside, because you can see how iridescent it is, it just shines through with that matte black on top. So really happy. I think it's really effective, the strong black, dense, opaque black against the really pretty iridescent sunset colours. The actual pour underneath works perfectly. I actually think this one probably is better than the original one because the cells are smaller. There's a few places where they're slightly larger, but I think you just got more detail where the cells are smaller. So really happy. Thank you so much for watching. Please do leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you think of this. And I hope you've all had a nice weekend. Take care, everyone. Bye.